now. Welcome. I am Johnita Stanton. We have Reginald Perriman, Shaka Williams. We are TSARE. This is There's Something About Real Estate podcast where we talk all things real estate.
You down with OPP, other people's problems, right?
Everybody.
That's how you did it. That's how it used to be back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we gonna let Reggie, cause I'm not the person. I don't know. I have no idea.
You got a lot of problems.
I do have a lot of problems. You know.
Other people.
Speaking with
other people.
That's how I make my money.
Exactly. That's the point we make.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So name some problems that you had to solve.
Shit. People need jobs.
Mm-hmm.
People need things repaired. People need to buy houses. People need their credit repaired. People need to get credit cards. People need to learn how to people need their taxes done.
Right.
That's a whole lot of them.
Right.
I keep adopting kids.
So you need a bigger house?
Oh, absolutely not. I was just complaining to him about this earlier today. I need to go back down the street
I was telling
to
her.
my 1,200 square foot house.
It was already 8 people living there when you brought it in the basement.
Right.
You talking about my new house?
Yeah, you're talking about the ghost.
The haunted house.
Nah, I love my house. But anyway, so yeah, what is other people's problems in relationship to like what we do as realtors?
Right, and real estate investors. So we always told, like when you listen to like coaches and business coaches, they like find a problem, people with big problems or a big enough problem and solve it, right? But then when you go and find those problems, if you go and solicit business, then people be like, oh, you like a vulture or something like that. But then some people be happy you called. Like, we was going through this, we was going through foreclosure, we didn't know any better. So like, I had people where you call them, they in pre-foreclosure, they losing their house next month. They like, I'm tired of people calling me, I don't want to sell my house. Well, what's the other option?
Yeah, like you need to talk to somebody. Sure,
you have people, you call them and they be like, oh, we didn't know we had 6 months redemption period. We glad you told us. So you either fixing the problem or some people perceive that as something different. And it's a lot of money being made solving people's problems.
Okay, so so I think that historically, real estate agents have had like a stigma attached to us, where maybe we could be predatory or, kind of like vultures and that type of thing. I've got it, especially like back in the day.
Right.
When people was charging more on like the mortgage end though, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. But yes, I think to my clients, I've definitely been a counselor all the time. Marriage counselor, couples counselor, bankruptcy attorney. I mean, not really. I'm just playing, y'all.
Yeah, you be all of that.
Yeah, that's it. Ask for everything.
People ask for advice.
I don't give legal advice.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you say. Shaka do.
I do not.
Shaka do not give legal advice.
I do not give legal advice. I give you my opinion.
You be like, you don't need no attorney for that.
I will give you my opinion 100%.
But I know I've had to tell people, like, I've been in situations where, we're trying to find a house. It's a couple.
Right.
Maybe they're not married. And literally, like, when I'm getting into it and I see that they the couples that's going to be breaking up every week, I have to tell one or both to kind of be like, look, I need for you guys to chill out while we're in this buying process. Because if y'all have a big blow up, it may feel like it's completely over, but 9 times out of 10, y'all gonna get back together and you're still gonna need a house.
No, I don't tell them.
I've definitely had that conversation.
I got 2 couples from last year and I got 1 from this year. They wasn't married, they breaking up. And in both situations, one of the people couldn't afford the house by themselves, but they didn't want to move. And the other person had already moved out in this most recent one. And he's like, man, I want to just sell the house. I'm like, you can't, because both of y'all names on the mortgage and on the deed. And she's staying there. The house going to end up going into foreclosure because they already had a financial hardship.
My couples don't do that.
And it was just like, by the time the other person decides to sell, it might be too late. So it's like how you solve the problem, right? You gotta eventually talk some common sense into the other person.
To both of them.
Right? But then if the other person emotionally connected, like I just don't want the other person to have nothing, then it become an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say other people problems, I'm talking about the common ones we see, like divorce or breakups, financial hardships, people facing foreclosure, bankruptcy, or even like a death in the family or illness, right? Some people are grateful that you even called or reached out to them first and provided them with information, but some people just cuss you out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't need your help. I'll call somebody when I need
Right, when
somebody.
I need
What you
Well,
calling me for?
I'm looking at the data. You got 3 weeks when you gonna call somebody, right? So but it's a lot of money being made in people's problems.
Okay, like
Facts.
what?
That's how I
All
support
that we
myself.
mentioned.
Yeah, like literally.
Yep.
Like everything he just said. Yeah, that's how I support my family. Like I find the issues that people have,
Right.
and I find a solution or my version of a solution, and I charge for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a accountant I know. He mails every time. If you get a IRS letter, like you owe it, they gonna levy. You gonna get a letter from him. Like that's all the business he go after, because he know he can charge you a lot for getting you out of the situation, right? But people be so happy when he help them, right? And that's just got to decide. But it's a lot of money out there for especially investors, because I always have people ask me, how do you find deals? So they like, I just want to find a foreclosure, bank foreclosure. I'm like, no, you want the deal before the bank get it. You want to talk to the homeowner. You want to get it before once the bank get it, they sell it to the highest.
Yeah, all the additional fees and everything. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so let's break it down. So let's talk about probate. So that you've mentioned that a couple times. So you have a death in the family.
Right.
And maybe you've seen it in what, legal news?
Yep, legal news. You see a personal rep and you see the attorney listed.
No, yeah. So
Right.
but you originally when you see it, you're the real estate agent.
Right.
You're the vulture.
You're the vulture.
Yeah, you can say that.
And you want to fix this person's you see it in the legal news.
Right.
That's where you get the notice, right? And then you understand like the ways to contact the person. So then when you contact the person, are you thinking like, man, they probably really need some help getting this family asset sold? Like, how do you know that this is a problem that needs to be resolved?
You don't. I don't even discuss the house when I first talk to them. I just tell them what I do and what service I offer. If they need me, call me. But then they get so many calls, they like, you guys
just another
are trying
one.
to, right, you just trying to, but then I send them information that'll help them.
So that's how they remember you.
Yeah. So you send them information that'll help. And over the next few months, they're like, dang, this information is helpful, especially people like that don't have an attorney or they don't have a good attorney that did a good job of explaining it to them.
Why was it helpful in the probate situation?
A lot of people don't even know they can sell the house before they close the estate. Or the house, on average, at least in our area, in Metro Detroit area, a lot of people pass and the estate don't have enough money to cover the mortgage. So the house ends up in foreclosure. And so they kind of forced to sell it. And they don't know. They think they got to wait. They think they got to fix it up. They think they got to close out the estate, which could take months, in some cases years, if there's a lot of infighting going on. And the house is just sitting there going to waste.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're saying that people probably have something of value.
Right.
They don't even understand it's valuable. And then they end up walking away from it because they didn't understand the value.
Or they know the value, they just don't know what to do with it, or they're infighting and they need a mediator
All right.
to come and talk to them and say, look, this is what you got, this is what you could have, and this will solve most of your problems.
And what about when you got 10 people that's part of the estate and they all are executors?
Nah.
That rarely happens. Yeah. If I see that, I don't want no parts.
Exactly. So stuff you just walk away, I can't help you.
The most I usually see is 2, unless it's like a big estate, but usually it's just 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, situation, a house, people own a house for a really long time. Maybe they didn't have a mortgage for whatever reason.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, a mortgage company or they're getting maybe a notice that the house is going to be being taken over. And they're like, wait, I own this house.
Right.
And the mortgage company is like, nah, you don't own the house because we had a lien on it. Maybe it's like a equity line or something.
Yep. A lot of people don't even be. It's
They
funny.
don't even
a lot
know
of
grandma
people,
had it.
Yeah, they don't know that it was an equity line taken out because they don't pull title work. They
Right.
just see, oh, she ain't have a mortgage. She just had a loan she had with the bank.
Right.
But yeah, it was an equity line. They
a
don't.
loan with a lien on your house.
You'd be surprised how many people don't understand that an equity line of credit. Well, home equity loan is a loan against the property, a lien against the property. They just think, oh, the bank, you just had a personal loan with the bank.
But they probably don't even know. So like this person that's living in the house, maybe they bought it on a quick claim deed or was able to get into the house somehow, obtain some sort of a deed, probably a quick claim deed.
Yeah.
And then I'm living in the house, it's 15 years later, and now some third party company is knocking on the door saying, this is my house.
Even better, somebody be like, this is my grandma's house. She left it to me. So I had the deed transferred to my name. Well, who transferred it? Well, I just went down and recorded a quick claim deed. Who deeded the property to you? Because grandma gone. Who deeded that property to you? Was it the estate? No, we just wrote up a deed and put it in our name.
So I just got a call like that, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
Where
that's a
somebody's
problem, right?
called me,
Had their attorney
got
do
the
it.
house in the 80s. Well, my mama left it to me, and apparently, I don't know what she's trying to do with this house, sell it, refinance it, do something with it.
Yep.
But she's in a space to where she's like, wait a minute, I don't have a deed. And she's, like, well, these things were paid and these liens were paid.
I paid the taxes.
Yeah, I did this and I did that. And I'm like,
You SOL.
I think I'm like, I don't think you have like a huge problem because, it was the parent.
Right.
But we're talking about something from the 80s.
Right.
It's 2023.
But see, this is when I say other people problems, a lot of times people will create more problems because they didn't come get the help. So
Or
the
listen
help,
to it.
Or listen, that's what I was
listen
going
to
to
it.
say.
Yep. So in that case, she can simply just do like a quiet title suit and say, this is why I believe I should be entitled to the property. Now, they may say you still have to go through probate or whatever the case may be, but those are problems that people don't even know they have.
So
because they just think, oh, I got a deed, I'm good.
So who would you go to for that, to fix that information? An attorney?
Or your title company?
Well, first I would check the title work to see what issues it is, who the owner is, right?
Yep.
But then if they want to go do a quiet title suit, I'm going to refer them to an attorney.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So other people's problems. We kind of talked about it a little bit, which you just gave this a couple's situation, but yeah.
And even like in divorce. So one situation I had with a divorce was they were cool with selling the house. Everything was fine. The problem is the wife wanted to buy a new house, right? Which she could do until she took her attorney's advice and not her mortgage rep's advice. And the attorney was doing what was in her best interest financially for that period of time, but from a home buying standpoint, it wasn't. So the agreement was to pay alimony and child support for a certain period of time, stretched out until the child was 18 for both alimony and child support, right? But the attorney fought to get that money paid in a shorter period of time and more lump sum payments. The same exact amount, but it was only going to be for like 3 years.
Yeah,
right? But and so when you went to the lender said, you're only going to have 3 years of this income being this amount. Plus what you make on your own, you don't qualify. And each lender has their requirements on how long the income has to be extended. So now she could qualify for a house, but not the lifestyle she was used to living. And in attorney mind, it was like where she has an income that can support the lifestyle she's currently living, but no, she can't, because she can't buy a house. She can rent a house, but she can't buy a house equivalent to that because now she don't qualify for the mortgage. And the loan rep kept telling her, look, you need to have your income last for X amount of years.
Yeah.
At this rate, you can split it up. And she couldn't qualify for the loan.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a problem that could have been solved. And
If you
now,
listen to the professional instead of the attorney.
well,
The professional
emphasis,
within the industry.
Yes.
yeah, the emphasis when they first started the process was to get the home sold and get her the money that she was due. It wasn't brought up until closer to the end that she was looking to buy a house,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't share that information with her attorney. So the problem solver can come in if it's a lender out there that say, oh yeah, we can use this 3 years, just do this and do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem that can be solved,
Mm-hmm.
right? But people,
They think that you go to the attorney and the attorney's word is bond. So, and that's my
well,
point
it was
that I
bond.
always say.
She got the money.
No,
She got everything she wanted,
Mhm.
but it didn't benefit her the way she thought it would.
Because the attorney didn't do a good job. So the attorney didn't say, hey, because this is what a realtor or even loan officer, or most people in real estate, they ask you, what's your end goal?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
and what
So-
else is going on in your
so
life,
if your
right?
end goal, if you about to get a divorce and your goal is to go buy a house,
Right.
then when that information that attorney gave her was horrible,
Right.
right? That's why I always say you don't need an attorney, right? Because there are instances where you do, right?
Right.
Obviously in probate, even in probate, you don't necessarily
Well, in
need an
this
attorney.
case, she needed an attorney because he got her money.
She probably was gonna get her
She
money
wasn't
either
gonna
way.
get that. She wasn't gonna
Yeah.
get that money without an attorney.
I've done so many things that people told me that I need an attorny for.
Yeah, she wasn't
that
gonna get
lets
that
me.
money
I
without
just
that.
I don't share that same.
Not with the attorney he
sentiment.
hired, and with the attorney
Yeah.
she wasn't gonna get that.
You
money.
need an attorney when the other person got an attorney.
Hmm?
Because even
No,
a judge.
you need the counter. You need whatever attorney he had. She needed this attorney.
Right.
You
But I'm just
need
saying, when you go to
information.
court with,
Right.
if you have an attorney and I don't have an attorney, like the judge is gonna pay more attention to the attorney that's talking than
That's not true. The judge is gonna pay attention to the information. So what
Right.
y'all talking about is when people go in there and the attorney they know the law, right?
Right.
And you going in there off of your emotions. So if you going in there doing that dumb shit, then yeah, you're gonna lose.
Right.
But if you can put your emotions to the side and you go learn the information,
Right.
then yeah, I don't give a shit who the attorney is because I'm equipped with the same information you're equipped with.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have an advantage over me anymore. Now, if
unless that judge is just
now-
listening to them more.
but he's not, because the judge is listening to the facts of the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you don't have the ability to
Right.
comprehend that information and present it properly, then all right, go
Right.
get you an attorney. But still, go learn, go get the information.
yourself,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, don't just go. That's what I be saying when I say you don't need an attorney, right?
Right.
I'm not like knocking attorneys. I'm just saying that you need to go inform yourself first.
Right.
Right. Then you can decide whether or not you need to pay somebody else to do something that you possibly could do yourself.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So in that scenario, the reason I brought that up was because she solved one problem but created another one. So somewhere in this Metro Detroit area, somebody that can solve that problem for her, right? So a lot of times people, and that's where the money is made. Now that person can be like, oh, I need to get with the attorneys. Okay, you gonna get her this money? It's short term, I can get them a loan. So now you can have a loan rep saying, if you got a client that's getting installment payments or whatever under 5 years or whatever other lenders are telling them, refer them to me. Now that's a problem solver. Now, but then you'll have some attorneys that'll tell those loan reps, don't call me no more, don't bug me no more. Not knowing that
You
it
can
can
use
solve problems for
issue.
your clients. They're assuming all their clients got this money and they can go out and get a house, but that's not the case.
I'm just sitting here trying to figure out when you gotta, I thought 3 years, so that was an overlay for that particular lender.
Yeah, Yeah, basically.
Because normally 3 years is all you
enough.
need.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the lender, right? That's what you're saying.
And the amount of
Depends on the
money
lender.
too. So it has some other stuff.
And then wasn't enough money to put
income
down.
to debt ratio and
What
she
she's
couldn't get the
saying-
she
money to
wasn't
put the
trying to
money
put no
down.
20% down.
Yeah. What she's saying
like
is that there are lenders, and it's kind of what y'all saying. the same
Yes.
thing.
Yeah, I'm
That's
just
what I
saying
said, it was
there are
overlay.
lenders that
Yeah.
would do it, but the particular person she was working with wouldn't. The reason I brought it up is because there's problems that people create themselves. There's problems that they got other professional advice from, but it created another problem and they need a solution for this problem. And if those lenders go out and market to attorneys, the attorneys, some of them attorneys be like, leave us the hell alone. We don't need your services, right?
Yep.
But if the attorney's doing this and they work hand in hand, they can help more people.
What about the person that's got $200,000 in student loan debt?
Shit, they help you as much as they
it's
can.
lenders.
Yeah.
Billy told me he had one with like 600,000.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying that's a person's problem that you have to resolve.
Yeah, you need a good loan rep that understands how student loans work
I understand how they work.
and how. Well, tell us then how it impacts income
So
and debt
a lot of
ratio,
times people feel like,
forbearance,
well, I got too
deferment.
many student loans, so I'm never gonna be able to get approved. And
Right.
some of these people that have those high student loans like that, they actually do make money. So at one time, the simple fix. Well, if you got a little bit of loans, let's say you got $20,000,
Right.
you take 1% of that, you're good.
Half.
I'm trying to finish what I was saying. So a long time ago, you got $20,000, you take 1% of that.
A long time ago, they didn't even include it at all. So if you wouldn't go a long time ago, student loans didn't get included a long time
In a
ago.
land far away.
Yeah,
long
I'm
time
saying
ago.
no, it wasn't.
Which long time ago you talking about versus your long time
I'm talking
ago?
about back in 2000, shit, all the way
She
up
talking
until
about
they
her
started
long
making
time
it.
ago,
Right,
though.
that's what I'm saying. But that's why I said the half, and then she said the 1%.
All right.
So the 1% came after. So before, if you want to go with the history lesson, before student loans didn't count at all, right? Then they went to the 1%, not at the 0.5%. But you're talking about at the 1% right now.
I can finish what I was saying.
Yeah, that was your long time ago.
Okay, so a long time ago, you go on a low, you do 1%, that's sufficient.
Right.
If you got a big loan and you do 1%, you got $200,000 loan.
Right.
Sometimes that's too much. So it was nice when they relaxed that standard and cut it in half.
Right.
But sometimes the half still isn't good enough.
Right.
So then you need to go into an income-driven repayment program.
Right.
Right? And this is the problem. So you have a person who, let's say maybe you're not aggressive, or maybe you are aggressive, but you just don't understand how some of these student loan companies work.
Right.
And what you have to do is you have to have it amortized or broken down over a specific period of time. So like a lot of people will go in, they say, I need this income-driven repayment plan because I need to get it lower than the 0.5%.
Right.
In order for me to qualify for what it is that I want to qualify for, right? And so they call all these student, whoever the student loan company is, and typically they come back with like a payment plan, and it's on like an estimation. So like when I'm talking to clients that have this problem, I'm like, you just have to be sure to read the paper, and you have to be sure that you don't see words that says like estimated or on average or approximately, like any of these things. It'll be very specific. It'll say it's broken down over like 300 months, 400 months, right. Like, a lot of months in order to get that payment all the way down into like the hundreds of dollars instead of like the thousands of dollars.
Right.
So that's how you fix that person's problem. But most people, they don't understand that income payment driven repayment program can be a lot lower than even the 0.5% now.
Right.
That goes to the Biden program that she talked about in the previous episode, why that particular program could work. Because we know that historically that African Americans or minorities in general have those student loans, right? And if they cannot take those into consideration, because that was kind of unfair. So you do remember, like, it wasn't that long ago. So the 1% just came in. When did that come? That came in like shit within the last.
Loans, I don't know.
So the 1%, that was like in the last,
definitely
last 10 years.
Last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So before that, it was more fair, right? Because they didn't even count student loans against you at all. Just like now they're getting into not getting ready to count certain medical debt, right? So it was fair. Then it got unfair when they put the 1% because that's unfairly impacts minorities. Based on the fact that minorities have more student loans than everybody else, right?
Right.
So then the 0.5% was like what they figured was their happy medium, but it's really not still, right? It still unfairly impacts us more than others, right? So.
Yeah. So we got student loans, death and probate, divorce, and financial hardship. Mm-hmm. So people that just lost their job, laid off, or whatever. Right, they have problems. Usually the biggest problem there is they're going to be facing foreclosure. So
the financial hardship?
Yeah.
Okay.
So people need loan modifications, which they can kind of get that done on their own, or they need to do some, mostly the loan mod or short sale if the house not worth what's owed on it, or they just simply need to sell the house.
Exactly.
Right.
And how many people don't do that part?
You'd be surprised how many people wait. But these are things, so when this information becomes available, you start getting the calls and people get tired of the calls and like, stop calling me, I don't want to sell. Yeah, you don't want to sell now, but here's some information that can help you. And when it comes that time, but don't wait until the last month and be rushing.
Because then I'm going to buy a cash. No. You're going to call me a vulture.
Right, right, but it still solve the problem because if you can put. So here's the thing: at some point in time, you got to realize either you gonna make the decision or the bank gonna make the decision. It's just bottom line. When you make the decision, you got a little bit more say-so on how much you're gonna walk away with. When bank make a decision, you're not getting anything. So these are problems that investors can look at, realtors can look at, loan reps can look at, and figure out ways to make money from it, and at the same time help people. Because the perception is if we're going after that type of business, people think you're like a vulture and you're just ambulance chasing and all that. But people really do need help.
They need that help,
Like when I look at the attorneys that be like, car accident and all that stuff, I be like, dang, they be on it. And you think they like ambulance chasing, right? But it's some people that really need help when those situations happen. Like you got hit on your motorcycle, you don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it has to be a medium between are these people vultures or are they really actually helping? And the only way you know if they really generally want to help you is to go out and talk to them.
You got to interview.
Yeah, and you got to interview people. You got to listen to what they're saying. And you can tell when somebody trying to sell you something versus trying to just hook you in.
That's one of my issues. So my issue is I'm too honest sometimes, right? You be telling the people the real, and they don't want to hear the real. They actually want to be sold on whatever they want to hear that sounds good to them. They don't want to hear the actual truth. And when you tell them the truth, they be like, oh no, they go to the next person that tell them what they want to hear, and then they taking advantage of them.
I got a probate property now, been vacant a year and a half. They owe $70 on it. It's worth $169 as is. We had it on the market a couple of weeks, showing schedule up to wazoo. They denied it. They both kind of back and forth with each other. Now they put it back on the market 3 months later. It's in foreclosure. And a house fixed up is worth like $225. Every week I get a call. Well, what if we just fix it up? I'm gonna talk to the lender and see if I can finance it in my name.
Tell them to call me when they 7 days out.
And I'm like, you can't finance it because you still got to get the deed from the estate to your name. And the lender might actually let you assume the mortgage, but you're not gonna own the property. So every week it's like something different. Well, you think we should clean it out now? You should have did that months ago because now it's in this situation where the longer you wait, and every week or two I get a new idea on what we should do.
And you already gave them the plan.
When you supposed to give me these people number? Like 2 weeks ago?
No, I already got the listing signed. They just extended it. Yep, they don't put it back on the market. But it's still one of them things like, before I originally talked to them a year ago. The house was vacant then. So it's set. Mm-hmm. And before I even talked to them, it had been vacant maybe about 8 months. So it's just like every possible scenario, my cousin asked me to do this, I'm gonna try to do this, if you ain't did it in 2 years, it ain't gonna happen. Ain't about to happen. And it's like, if I go back to the court and I'm like, dude, look, just sell the house.
So that's crazy. One of the first times that I had interaction with Reggie was you had a similar situation.
Yeah.
Right?
I always had a situation. That's what made me so mad.
But he ended up losing that house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We was going to buy that house.
Yep.
But we was like, our dollar difference was what? I can't remember. It was
like 10,000 or 5,000.
Yeah.
Yep.
It wasn't major for him to get zero.
Was that the people from California that had the Boston Edison property?
Yeah. It happened. Mm-hmm. Look, I'm going to tell y'all now.
Y'all just lose the house.
They just lost the
house. I'm going to tell y'all now. If y'all pass and y'all leave y'all kids the house and y'all got a mortgage on it, it's probably about a 60 to 70% chance, based on my numbers, that they probably going to lose that house before they had a common sense to sell it, because you owe one amount, the market value way up here, and they're trying to figure out every harebrained scheme. Well, we're going to rent it out. We're going to refinance it. Nobody qualifies for the mortgage to refinance it. And you got to go to court. It's so much. Your kid's going to lose their house. I hate
Get insurance. Get insurance to that's the
get
easiest.
Life insurance to pay off the mortgage, and then let them fight over a free and clear house.
There you go. I mean, at least they'll.
But then they get the life insurance money and don't pay the house off.
And then lose it over the taxes, which is even less, right?
You put it in the trust?
Yeah, they still going to mess it up.
You could put it in the trust, had the trust pay the taxes. All right, true. I mean, but you talking about
I might be at the title company on my deathbed selling my house.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like, I'm just liquidating everything.
So we had a situation like that. Our second deal that we did together, was that our second deal in Taylor? Literally, this guy was losing his house.
Yeah.
He knew he was losing his house. He was going crazy. He did not trust you.
He ain't trust
or
nobody.
Paul. Right?
He talked to me the whole time, so I don't know.
He probably didn't trust you.
I normally don't have that issue.
That's
but
what you think.
No, I mean, based on my experience, I don't normally have that issue. But whatever, he was still to the last, like we talking about literally the last day, because it was like we were taking over, we were paying off, we was redeeming his house from foreclosure. And we were at the last day, literally. Mm-hmm. Like, for real, the last day. And he was arguing over a couple $1,000s or whatever. We was fair with him.
It was very fair. We fair with everybody.
Yeah.
When that happened, I just walked.
I'm glad we did. We made money off of it.
It was a quick flip.
Yeah. I would do more of those. I actually want to do more of those than the shit we've been doing.
Yeah. I just walk. I don't have time.
I get it.
I got people that got $300,000-$400,000 homes, and they like, I ain't fixing that because it was like that when I brought it, and it'd be like a $500 repair.
Yeah.
So, other people's problems become your problems. You gotta try to solve the problems, but some people just can't. Some problems can't be helped, not because you don't know how to fix the problem. You don't know how to fix the people, and that's it.
That's a wrap.
Monday.